Happy New Year and welcome to the first edition of County Report this week of 2012. I'm Lorna Virgili and we're here to bring you all of the stories that impact you as a county resident. January 1st brought a new way to shop in Montgomery County. The new bag tax law entered into effect and shoppers are getting accustomed to bringing reusable bags to the supermarket or paying the new tax.
How you doing today?
County Executive Ike Leggett spearheaded the distribution of free reusable bags. Shoppers that entered the Safeway supermarket at the Hillandale Plaza were greeted with a gift to avoid paying 5 cents for a shopping bag.
Now that people are focused on the bags and focused on the cost and focused on the environmental effort, I think that we now see a very good response from people who now understand what the law is.
Under the law, retailers must charge 5 cents for each paper or plastic carry-out bag they provide to customers at the point of sale.
I think a lot of people have been anticipating it. We've had signs at the check stands for a while, and a lot of people bring their own bags anyway. But for those that have to pay the nickel, I think that they realize that the money is going for a good cause. It's going to help the environment, and the nickel isn't a huge fee, but we're happy that people are choosing to bring their own reusable bags into the store, so it's a win-win situation.
At this Safeway, some customers seemed puzzled with the new law.
If you bring your own bag, you should get a credit. So much, 5 or 10 cents off for every bag you bring in that you fill up with and not use their plastic bags.
Revenues collected will be directed to watershed restoration and litter cleanup. Plastic bags are one of the top items found in county streams and stormwater controls. The county spends approximately $3 million annually for litter prevention and pickup.
It's been some glitches when it first started because people was complaining, about why they have to pay for the bags and they're shopping in the stores. But, I feel that, it helps us as well as the environment. And they said that it's only 5 cents, for the bag. The 5 cents, the taxes for the bag. And they're giving out the free bags today, so that's a good thing.
A number of businesses donated reusable bags for distribution by the county, most of which have been provided to low-income residents. The state's energy regulator has imposed a hefty fine on our area's largest provider of electricity. And Susan Kennedy has more on this story. Susan?
Lorna, the Maryland Public Service Commission has handed down its largest fine ever to Pepco. Now remember, just a few months ago, officials here at the County Council were grilling Pepco officials about its failure to deliver reliable electric service.
This is a crisis that needs to be resolved now. Absolutely now.
The $1 million fine is described as only an initial penalty for the company. The commission found Pepco failed to fix the problems that have led to frequent power outages, even on the sunniest of days.
Well, it certainly could have been more, and the Public Service Commission acknowledged that it could have been more, but it was a balancing act. They didn't want Pepco to spend too much money as a fine to the state, rather to spend that money to improve their service. So this really shows the importance of the intervention that Montgomery County had in the case. Montgomery County was instrumental in getting the Public Service Commission to hold a hearing into Pepco's reliability.
The commission also found Pepco failed in communicating with its customers during those outages. Council members had been steadfast in their belief of holding Pepco accountable for its low standards. And in the end, Friedman says officials just weren't buying Pepco's defense.
The Public Service Commission said they're tired of the excuses from Pepco, and they found problems all over. Improper vegetation management, just not looking at things carefully enough, not having a plan. Basically, from top to bottom, they found problems with Pepco. And they want Pepco to improve, but the most important thing is they don't want the taxpayers to bear the cost of all the improvements.
The fine by the Public Service Commission comes on the heels of legislation in Annapolis to fine electric utilities $25,000 a day for each violation of reliability standards. It also ordered Pepco to file a 5-year improvement plan that includes communication improvements and quicker restoration times.
Consumers have realized that Pepco has seen the problems and has heard the complaints, and they're willing to give Pepco an opportunity to step up and make the changes that they should have made many years ago.
I'm Susan Kennedy for County Report This Week.
The Truancy Court pilot program encourages habitually truant students to improve their school attendance. County officials have received word that federal funding has been allocated to keep this initiative running. The goal of the Truancy Court program is to improve student attendance by discovering the root causes of truancy and assisting students and their families with issues that impact attendance. Councilmember Valerie Irvin has worked closely on issues associated with truancy, and she says since the program was put into place at 2 county middle schools in 2010, attendance rates are improving.
It takes a long time in Montgomery County to actually track a child who may be truant. And this program grabs them up right away. If your child begins to skip school for whatever reason or is tardy for school a lot, this is the kind of program that won't wait until your child is absent 18 days, which is what it normally takes. They are then placed in a program and they get to go to court, and the court is made up of a very nice judge who is able to sit down with the child, and the judge keeps them on track. And having a real judge in real robes talking to a child about how important it is to stay in school, to report on time to school, to make sure if you're not sick, you should be in school.
The county now has a new fleet of green buses. Executive Leggett announced that Ride On has purchased 13 new American-made buses, hybrid electric diesel buses, and clean diesel buses. Funds were provided by the state using $6.5 million in Federal American Reinvestment and Recovery Act. Ride On has a fleet of 339 buses, and in fiscal year 2011, the bus system carried almost 27 million riders.
We're very proud of our Ride On service. Ride On has been an innovator in the environmental area since 1996, when we began acquiring our first green buses. This region air quality problems are well known, and they are a real challenge for us. And in Montgomery County, we're committed to doing our part. We have an ambitious goal of reducing greenhouse gas emissions by 80% by the year 2050.
Hybrid buses will use almost 30% less fuel. When we come back, the police need your help in identifying this bandaged man that robbed a CVS store in Montgomery Village. And we take you to a very special graduation at Montgomery College.
I'm Rockville 11's Bridget Breuer. The District 17 delegation just presented before Rockville's mayor and council. We'll have that story when County Report This Week continues.
The city of Rockville wants you to meet your legislators. Several members of the state delegation spoke to the city's mayor and council at a recent meeting to give a preview for the General Assembly session, which begins in Annapolis this month. Our Rockville 11, Bridget Breuer, was there to cover the meeting. Bridget?
That's right. The District 17 delegation just presented before Rockville's mayor and council to give their 2012 legislative priorities. And the common theme of the night was that it's going to be another tough budget season.
Let me just very briefly say that this is going to be another stressful legislative session with respect to the budget.
That's the report Rockville's mayor and council heard from Delegate Barve and the District 17 delegation.
What I perceive is we received a healthy dose of lowering of expectations for this upcoming session regarding our 4 legislative priorities. I appreciate the honesty.
In addition to talk about the tight budget climate, the delegation also addressed the 3 city legislative priorities for 2012, which include restoration of highway user revenues, statewide stormwater management legislation, and legislation to allow non-sworn officers to sign off on speed camera violations. We spoke to the members of the delegation after the meeting to get their reaction on their presentation.
The U.S. economy is still in a recession, and we're only slowly recovering. I mean, as a business person myself, I do sense the recovery. It is happening, but not as quickly as we would want. And while it's fortunate that Maryland is doing better than the rest of the country, it's still not as good as we would want. And so it's going to result in very hard budgetary problems for the state, for the county, and for the city.
I think it's important for people here to realize how much state employees, how much the state has done to try to cut down on their costs, and the state employees have really taken a hit. And so I think that it behooves municipalities and county governments to look at what all their avenues are to save money.
We are working in a very scarce, an environment that's marked by scarcity, and I think we're going to be looking at it for the foreseeable future. The federal government's contracting, sales tax revenues are down, income tax revenues are not as high as they should be. So the pie has not been expanding. The pie is actually shrinking for the first time in recent memory, and we're all going to have to make adjustments.
There's a lot that will be going on in Annapolis this session, but specifically for municipalities, there's a number of issues. And the municipalities, they're concerned about their road maintenance funds, highway user revenue, which the state has cut way back on over the last 5 years. And the state has budget problems, the cities have budget problems, and that's something that's been cut way back.
We'll continue to follow the updates from the General Assembly session in Annapolis right here on Rockville 11.
A special group of students at Montgomery College were honored at their graduation. MCTV's Michael Brown has the story.
MC hosted a graduation the other night for students from the Future Link program, a self-advocacy skills and career development seminar for disadvantaged youth.
While the seminar is certainly the core of this program, it's important to understand that this seminar only represents the first phase of a Future Link program that makes a 2-year commitment to our young people by providing them with mentors, professional connections, scholarships, and academic support.
MC President Dr. Darian Pollard welcomed the students.
I first want to tell the graduates how completely proud I am of you for what you've done. You've chosen to be a part of something that will change your life.
The graduates were presented by their seminar facilitators.
I'm so proud to be standing here today to present you with these amazing graduates. We had a great semester together, and I will miss each of them dearly.
And 3 of the new grads spoke about the impact of the program.
This is one of the best programs I could say I ever joined.
Learning how to set goals, how to stay motivated, and I learned all these things from Future Link.
Through Future Links, I learned things that one would never learn in an ordinary classroom.
And Montgomery County Council Vice President Nancy Navarro wrapped things up by placing the importance of the program in a real-world perspective.
And so I want to celebrate you tonight, and I want to celebrate Future Link because you're doing exactly what everybody needs to do across this nation, which is to prepare the future, because you will be the future doctors, you will be the future architects, you will be the one contributing to a Social Security fund as we age. But that will only happen if we figure out a way, to inspire, to engage, and to give all of our youth the tools they need to be successful. And so I am very honored to be here tonight just to say thank you for making this choice. Thank you, Future Link, for what you are doing.
The police department is searching for a man who conducted a robbery at a CVS store in Montgomery Village. Officer Rebecca Innocenti is here. Officer, he demanded drugs. What else took place?
Thank you, Lorna. That's correct. On December 24th at approximately 8:45 p.m., a suspect who was wearing bandages around his head and who had his arm in a sling walked into a CVS located on Montgomery Village Avenue. The suspect walked directly to the pharmacy, passed a note to the employees demanding prescription drugs, and implied verbally that he had a gun. He was able to walk away with an undisclosed amount of prescription drugs. While detectives believe this man may be injured, there is also a great possibility that he was wearing these bandages and was wearing his arm in a sling, certainly to conceal his identity.
We've seen the photographs. How do you expect to recognize this bandaged individual?
Certainly it will be more of a challenge, Lorna, but we're hoping that someone recognizes something about the suspect, perhaps the clothing he was wearing or the way he walked.
Thank you, Officer Innocenti, for that police update. When we come back, we take you to Roberto Clemente Middle School, where students were able to openly tell officials what they think about the school system. And the Montgomery College Science Center hosts an important delegation. We'll be right back. Research, writing, and public speaking skills were on display at the first ever education forum at Roberto Clemente Middle School in Germantown. The forum was the idea of English teacher Krista McKim, who wanted to give 8th graders a chance to present their concerns on the state of our educational system to teachers and other county officials.
Our topic is music and arts in school.
8th graders at Roberto Clemente Middle School in Germantown hosted an education forum with a unique twist. Students became the experts as they presented their research on a variety of topics.
Today's education forum was extremely important for students because it gave them an opportunity to showcase their ideas about education. More and more these days, students need to be able to express their opinions. And so when they're able to present in front of their peers and learn presentation skills, those are skills that they can take with them anywhere they go.
Well, should we just say expression in this one then?
In preparation for the forum, students worked in their English classes for over a month. This assignment allowed students to pick a topic relevant to them, research and write a paper on that issue, and then turn that paper into a formal presentation.
It's really an opportunity for all the students at our school, from inclusion to GTLD to on-level advanced, to have their voice heard about what matters to them in Montgomery County Public Schools. And we're working on citations and bibliographies and presentation skills and paper writing. It's kind of everything you need for college in a crash course, month-long activity.
Right now we're working on a PowerPoint that we're going to use to present to the administrators, and hopefully, we can get some feedback and see some results.
Students presented on a variety of topics to include teacher performance, class sizes, school lunch, bullying, and arts education.
Today I presented about standardized testing, and after doing research, I found out how costly it is to make tests, take tests, as well as the stress on teachers and students to do these tests.
Event attendees included classmates, teachers, parents, administrators, as well as state and county officials. Board of Education member Michael Durso commented on the students' topics.
Concerns over class size and standardized testing. I mean, these are all issues that have perplexed adults also.
The whole education forum is a big deal because it lets students speak their mind and what they're thinking about.
This is the first time an educational forum was conducted at Roberto Clemente, and students and staff alike were pleased with the outcome.
The all-day forum was the result of over a month of work by all of the 8th grade English classes at Roberto Clemente Middle School. The U.S. Green Business Council paid a visit to the Rockville campus of Montgomery College for a presentation and tour of the new Science Center. Here's more.
Montgomery College recently hosted the local chapter of the U.S. Green Business Council at the new Rockville Science Center. Over 40 members attended the event, which included a tour of the Science Center and many of its innovative design features. The focus of the presentation was commissioning the building envelope, the overall process used to make the most energy efficient and durable building exterior possible.
For the envelope, we need to identify what are the college's requirements. How do they maintain their buildings? What is the life that they anticipate for the building, the durability?
The envelope commissioning agent should really be engaged at conception of the building.
Total commissioning cost, I think, start to finish, is probably a little over $1.10 per square foot.
Yes, sir.
Among the stops on the tour of the building was the central chiller room, the electrical distribution room, one of the new lab classrooms, and a walk up to the roof. The photovoltaic solar panels feed electrical power directly into the building's electrical system. The group also got a look at the high-performance air filtration room located on the roof.
Properly commissioned building, whether it's envelope, air handler, or whatever, if you specifically design around and put high quality details on these, you give competition, but you don't give a lot of flexibility for the contractor to, let's say, reduce the level of quality in your building.
The Rockville Science Center is anticipating LEED Gold certification in the near future.
Perhaps this new year you might be looking for a pet companion. Here is the opportunity to adopt an older female dog. Kathy Stanhope from the Humane Society has the details.
Hi, this is Kathy Stanhope with your Pet of the Week at the Montgomery County Humane Society. And I am here with a charming elderly lady. This is Phoebe. She is just about 10 years old, so she has years to go yet. Small dogs can live to 15, 16, even 17. But she was a stray, and unfortunately she's here, and she's just too old to be locked in a cage. She needs a nice soft pillow or a nice soft lap where she can really spend the elderly golden years. Now, if you've been thinking about getting a dog for your maybe mother or father, grandmother or grandfather, this is the type of dog to get. She's sedate, she's calm, she does have a good number of leaders in her, and she really is looking for a nice place to live in a quiet home. She likes people, she likes other dogs, she's very sweet, she's very easy to get along with, she's got very good dog qualities, and she does like to cuddle. Her favorite thing is to just curl up on a cushion or on a lap, and this would be a perfect dog for an elderly person. So if you're considering a dog for someone older, or if you're older yourself, this is not a dog that should go to a big, busy, energetic family. This is a dog that would be perfect for an elderly person or a senior citizen living by him or herself. So come on down and meet Phoebe. As you can see, she's a beagle. I guess I didn't mention that. But she's very sweet. She likes everybody, and she really wants to go home. She's been here for a while. So come on down and meet Phoebe at the Montgomery County Animal Shelter, or give us a call at 240-773-5967, or visit us on the web at mchumane.org. You definitely want to meet Phoebe and take her home with you. Right, girl?
When we come back, the county prepares to observe Dr. Martin Luther King's Commemoration Day. And we'll tell you how to get rid of that old Christmas tree. We'll be back.
There's still time to register for Montgomery College's spring semester to make sure you get your first choice of classes. Choose courses for more than 130 majors and programs offered at our campus locations and online. Register today online or at any of our 3 campuses. All new MC students should definitely register for one of the new student orientation sessions scheduled on all 3 campuses. Designed to help your transition to college, they include workshops, activities, and opportunities to help you connect to the MC community. And don't miss the Wizards and MC Rockville men's and women's basketball triple header January 14th at the Verizon Center. The MC teams will take on PG Community College, and then the Wizards battle the 76ers. Special ticket prices available to catch all 3 games. For more information about the endless possibilities at your community college, visit our website.
As every year, Montgomery County will host a series of events and volunteer opportunities to commemorate the Dr. Martin Luther King Day. MCM's Obi Wobi tells us where and how we can participate.
Monday, January 16th, people across the nation remember civil rights leader Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who dedicated his life to social justice and opportunity for all.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up, live out the true meaning of its creed.
In honor of this day, Montgomery County has set up a lot of events, volunteer and community work to remember the late Dr. King.
But on this day, we must recognize that in some ways we have fallen short in fulfilling Dr. King's vision.
This year's main celebration will take place at the Bethesda North Marriott and Conference Center, where people can support the food drive by bringing non-perishable food. Other drop-off locations include the Silver Springs Civic Center, universities at Shady Grove, Gaithersburg, and giant locations across the county on January 14th and 15th. Following this event will be an MLK tribute held at the Music Center at Stratmore, starting at 4 p.m. Tickets are free. There are many ways you can celebrate the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Visit montgomeryserves.org for more information. And remember, it's a day on, not a day off. For County Report this week, this is Obi Wanwe.
For those who leave the Christmas lights on trees and bushes all year round, listen carefully to tips from the experts. Our friends at Brookside Gardens tell us that leaving the lights on can be detrimental for trees.
All right, Jeff Patterson here, light show manager here at Garden of the Lights, Brookside Gardens. We really appreciate everyone that comes out to see our show.
They're gorgeous. They're just absolutely beautiful.
We get thousands of visitors every year, and I just wanted to remind all you at home to make sure you take your holiday lights off every year. As the season gets really cold, everyone kind of forgets about it. Several years ago, to cut costs, our labor costs are the biggest thing that we have here for the Garden of Lights, as we tried to leave the lights on the tree. The horticultural manager and I walked around to many trees, and we decided we wanted to leave lights up for a growing season. And you can see here with all these ridges in the tree, this is from 1 year on this crepe myrtle tree, damage that we had after one season. So we automatically took them down, and that was 5 years ago. So you can see how it's grown out of it some, and we were lucky it didn't kill this tree. But this is the damage that could be done. So I know it's getting cold out right now, and the last thing you guys want to do is take your lights down, but make sure in the spring you get them down. If you wait that long, I would take them down as soon as you could after the season. The other thing to do is watch out, because the trees are real brittle, and so it's super cold outside. You want to be real careful taking them off so you don't break up your tree. That's all. Thanks a lot.
If you still have your Christmas tree around the house, let me tell you that the county will pick it up for recycling until February 3rd. All you have to do is put your Christmas tree at the curb by 7 a.m. on your collection day. The trees are picked up by the yard trim recycling crews, and they're given a new life. Please remove all of the decorations. Be sure there is no metal attached to the tree. Live Christmas trees without root balls and artificial trees cannot be collected as part of this recycling program. After February 3rd, you may still recycle your tree through our curbside yard trim collection. By then, the tree will have to be cut into smaller pieces. And with that, we close this first edition of 2012 of County Report This Week. I'm Lorna Virgili. Join us at this time every week for a look at what's going on inside Montgomery County. Thank you for watching.